Hello, I'm at a different park now with my dog where I like to sit and talk. It's a very comforting area because I raise my children not too far from this particular park. At Halloween time, actually, we would come down here. My neighbors and I, our children were young, they were under 5. I had two of them, boy and a girl, and we would dress them up for Halloween in something very cute, nothing scary, something very cute. And the whole neighborhood would have a parade around this park. There is a sidewalk that goes the perimeter all the way around the park in a big circle. And it was so fun for the kids. And then we would, of course, have some candies and things for them, toys and a few things for Halloween. We weren't big on huge, chocolate candies and stuff. It was things that little ones could have, like small lollipops and so on. We had fun. I love this neighborhood. I have good memories from here. Hey, there's a subject though that I'm kind of I think about a lot, and I guess I shouldn't say I really worry, but I am concerned for future generations. I'm going to keep the camera kind of off center here because my truck is right behind me, and there's other people out doing some work. So I guess I didn't put my chair in a very good spot, but I will next time. So took a quick break there and put my mic on. I actually remembered this time after I saw myself with no mic on. Anyway, so as a grandma, a mom, not just that, somebody who cares about everybody. I really do. I'm a caretaker and I care about people. People that I meet could be complete strangers. I really do care about people. And I'm concerned regarding how much and how early we put phones and tablets and devices in our children's hands. And I feel like they're being used at times I'm sure it's much easier to use those as babysitters, and there got to be appropriate times for that, I'm sure, like when you're shopping and the children don't want to shop and you have to go and there's nobody to watch them and so on. But I believe even in the household, this is being done, and and kids are fast at learning. They'll learn how to do everything very quickly. They're smart, very young. But I see, I watch people when I'm out and about, and there's small young children, not even in school, that have a phone in their hand. It's probably mom's phone, but still, uh, I don't see the need for that, honestly. If they're out and about, children need to learn manners. They need to learn how to be out with you, and especially babies they put tablets in their hands. And when we were young parents, we had playpens that our very young children could be in, with numerous toys, and a lot of them had to do with learning. They could learn how to put things together and blocks to build or whatever we had for them, appropriate for their age. And I just feel like we've lost that, and I'm worried that these children are not going to reach a lot of their milestones appropriately because of it. And I know there's a lot of medical problems with children. I don't know about a lot of them. I haven't done a lot of research, but you do hear it. You hear things happening. And I just feel like maybe that's something we should, as parents and grandparents, reconsider, is maybe not quite so much screen time so early. I mean, can't they just play with toys? I mean, we used to spend all of our time outside as much as we could. We lived sort of out in the country when I was young, not real country, but my dad had I think he had an acre and a half or 2 acres. Most of it was a field, and there was like a cow or horse in there that he would lease it off to. But we had a large yard and so on. But I found so many things to do, whether it's playing in the dirt, just getting outside and playing in the dirt, playing in the rocks, finding things, taking the dolls outside and, maybe taking your dolls and creating out of sticks and branches and whatever you have a house for them, or little statue horses. Kids can create from their own minds, creativity. And I don't know, am I off base here? What do you think about that? I just feel like I'm concerned, and I think about it quite a bit, whether this is a good thing or not. And I'm not saying that AI necessarily and modern technologies are bad, but I just think we need to consider the youngest of the humans, and in their development. And an appropriate time as they age, of course, they should be introduced to whatever the current technology is. But I just have my concerns, and it could just be my age, and I'm 73. And by the way, my name is Sandy. I'll be 74 in about 4 months. And, um, I just worry about children, humans in general. I really love people. So give me some ideas what you think is the appropriate ages, or what do you do with your kids? I mean, is there, I know because I raised, of course, my kids were born in the 70s. So, a lot of these things did not even come into effect for us to use as a public. I know that military had the cellular phones and so on that were portable for them to use, but it never came to the public probably until, gosh, my kids were in high school and they were born in the 70s. So that tells you about the time it started coming out. And I don't know. I mean, I had one of the first cell phones that went into a car where you had to go to like Radio Shack and have them install the phone, and it was quite, like an afternoon of a project to have done, and it was costly. So it's quite interesting from that time till now the difference in having those advances that we have currently. But yeah, I like to know what you think. Um, I'm just a little concerned, and I think about it, and I'm not real worried. I mean, we're going to do what we're going to do. I can't stop people from doing what they're doing. I don't want to. I want them to do what they want to do with their children. I just think we should put some thought into it. Really be careful. If it looks like it's affecting your child, then don't allow them to do it. Don't let your children run your household or run you. Just because the kid next door has one thing, they don't have to have the same thing. There's nothing wrong with telling your child no if it's something you do not want them to have, even if you have the money to do that. I mean, even Warren Buffett, the world's richest man, his his one son. I was watching a special on this. His one son was I think he was 20 years old before he knew that his dad was in the top 5 of the richest people in the world. He didn't even know. His dad didn't tell the children what he did. I'm sure that was easy to conceal too, because, as Warren Buffett being a financial guru could do that from his office in the other room of the house, and the children wouldn't know what he was doing. They said they never needed anything, but they didn't know that they were rich. He just didn't raise them like that. He didn't hand them over money. They lived in a upper middle class area. I can't remember the state they live in, but they weren't in the high class. He could have built any house he wanted. He could have bought any house he wanted. And I think it was really a good thing, especially as rich as he was becoming, that he kept his children more stable in a regular environment. They went to a public school. They rode the bus. He didn't give them money for a car, didn't give them a car when they turned 16. As time went by, they did introduce them to the stock and the money, but not in the way you'd think. They weren't raised like they were entitled. They don't feel entitled. I've watched them interviewed, and it's quite interesting. But there was just a thought I had about our cell phones, our tablets. The thing is too, I don't think it's really a good thing for you to expect instant gratification for everything that you'd like to do. That just causes everyone to be impatient, rude to other people. I watch people in grocery stores, and if there's a cashier that maybe isn't working as fast as they like them to, they're very rude to them. And I just don't believe that is right at all. I don't think this fast paced life is for everybody. And I don't believe that instant gratification is right. What's wrong with waiting a little bit? I know a lot of you are not going to agree with that because you're used to that instant gratification. If you go like Amazon, you can send something back and you'll get a credit back in your account the very day you return it. I mean, but a lot of these things in these stores, hopefully, are not all doing that. I don't believe Home Depot does instant everything. I'm not really sure, but I just feel like it causes all of us to be in a frenzy to do everything instantly, have all of this instant everything. We have instant food too. I mean, good grief. And instant food isn't healthy. most of it. Cooking's a good thing. What's wrong with that? Waiting for dinner to be done on the stove. So anyway, I'd like to get some of your ideas, what you think. I might be, if I'm way too old school for you, that's fine. I'm not telling you have to do anything the way I think, but I'm interested in how people believe and think about these types of things. So if you have a minute, give me a little, information about what you like in the comments, and I hopefully you'll stick with me as I learn how to do this YouTube thing. I'm still very new. This is only my third, I believe, my third or fourth video. So I'm going to find interesting subjects that I've experienced throughout life, because I will be 74 before long, and I've experienced a lot of things. And we'll get into that at another time. But thanks so much for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful day. Come back and see me again, okay? Bye bye.